Mrs. Halpern. Mrs. Halpern, it's here. It's here, the first letter from Jerusalem.
It's for Mrs. Levy, our surgical nurse on Mount Scopas. Listen to what she writes. Dear friends, this is my first letter to you since the State of Israel was proclaimed. Only yesterday, I was flying over Israel, beautiful and at peace from the air, going to a city which I cannot name, to a hospital, to take my place on the medical front. What a contrast to the blue sky was the suffering I beheld. David, my brother, was badly hurt in a bombing 2 weeks ago. My sister is somewhere in the north. But we are united, believe me. She a settler on the land, he a soldier, and I a Hadassah nurse. All of us are struggling for the same precious gift of freedom. When we saw the British flag go down and watched the British leave, we knew what was to come. The Arab mercenaries began to march with uniforms and gear which came from Britain. We saw them come. We were determined to defend ourselves. We knew that only through discipline could we win out against all this. They threatened our young new state from every border. They taught the children of our Arab neighbors how to use imported arms. We refuse to yield to aggression. We are keeping what the world agrees belongs to us. It's a pity you didn't meet David when he arrived, though really he looks like any other Jewish boy. He was branded by Hitler before he came, yet he is strong, morally aware, like all of them, of what this fight means for our people. Soldiers such as ours know why they fight. Those who tasted death in other lands, those who are native here, all know that we shall have only what we can hold. Hold it we have, and hold it we shall. We have forged an army from David and his friends. Chaim and Ruth and Joseph are privates and sergeants and captains now. They know every foot of this soil, every village, every road. They compute the losses as they do the gains, with a realism that comes from experience and love, always with humor, always with faith. Hadassah is a proud name to bear these days, for in your name I help feed them and tend them and perfect the skills which we shall need for the times of peace. Sometimes I wonder how it seems to you who have only the papers and the radio to tell you the facts. If you could only listen to the horrible sound of guns, yes, but also to the sounds of rescue. Oh, if you could only hear the people talking as they leave their ruined homes, not of their sorrow, but of rebuilding what is lost. In Jerusalem, when I was there was no food, no water, till they came, the Haganah, our kids. But hungry as we were, there was no, what shall I say, no sullenness, no pessimism, no questioning that in the end we should have victory. And victory is often made of such little things, like boxes on a truck. I, a Hadassah nurse, know what it means to have comrades killed. I worked with the nurses and Dr. Yosky, our director, who were burnt alive in ambulances going to Mount Scopus. I remember how this man stood on the hill and showed me and my friends our brand new hospital. I worked in this hospital even after it was shelled by Arab barbarians. I went underground later to work in a cellar, and as I worked, I dreamed how we would rebuild, dreamed while the ground above us shook with bombs. In Israel, our state, we still dream as we fight and build. What are now barricades will be fences and boundaries. We have new homes, new roads, new colonies, new industries. We still grow our food, and it still goes to market with the aid of Haganah. We meet our children when they come home from school. We run our factories and make the goods for sale in shops and marketplace. We are a state. We know it. And they who come to make their home in Israel, they know it too. By the thousands they have come, understanding that life will be hard, that food is scarce, that work is unremitting, but knowing too that nowhere else are they so needed and so welcome that young and old return to us, not as refugees, but as citizens in this, the world's youngest democracy. Knowing too that here the orphan has come home, that we are mother, father, friend. There's something really wonderful about building this state, no matter what the latest trouble, with our own street gangs, our own police, our own traffic cops. We accept our discipline because we ourselves have made it. And though the birth of this nation was attended by war, our people are able to govern themselves, even as they defy the enemy. I need the certainty that you are with me, as faces I see one day leave never to return. Remember, the wounded come back to my hands, into Hadassah hospitals. The children need food and comfort as parents fall. Sad, yes. But oh, our flag seems so much bluer than it used to be. And the golden star on it shines more brightly than ever before. When statehood was declared, we applauded our leaders who became our government. We also marched and drank a toast and shouted our defiance and our trust. My dears, I've hardly begun to tell you everything, but now it's back to work. I only ask this much of you. Tell me when you write if we can count on you. We'll take it. Take it as we should, with courage and with dignity. Don't forget, the biggest fight is still ahead. Send Hadassah all the things we need. Hadima. That's the word I wanted. Hadima. Forward. Remember, we depend on you. Hadassah has remembered. Hadassah has already sent a call for help to you, the citizens of the United States. As Americans, we are proud that our country was the first to recognize Israel. As Americans who love liberty, we extend the hand of friendship to the pioneers of the new Jewish state. And now Hadassah has received an urgent plea from the world's youngest democracy for funds. funds to carry on a vital program of medical defense. Give us those funds. Make it possible for Hadassah to fly over immediately medical supplies, blood plasma, hospital equipment, drugs, clothing, food to the builders of Israel. Give us the money to maintain and educate the thousands of Jewish orphans who have come home to their own people within the last few months, and for those who will continue to come. Give us the money for the boys and girls already in the land, whose parents stand on guard, all too eager to lay down their guns for tools, determined to build even in the face of aggression. Let us answer this letter from Israel with these words. Kadima, forward! Hadassah will not forget. Hadassah will remember. We will stand by your side.